mean, favorite, whatever works best. All right. Welcome to another episode of Art Therapy with me, Jed-Lee, and today we have a very great guest. Well, we have a great guest every single time, but this is my homie right here. This is Claudette Goico Sernius, right?
Goico Sernius.
Goico Sernius. She's a fantastic Dominican painter, muralist, social media manager, and also proud owner of a BFA, right?
Yes, I am.
So tell the good people a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up in Dominican Republic, and then I moved here when I was 16. So I finished high school, then moved on to college, and I did not know what I wanted to do with my career. I was just like, okay, I just want to be happy. That literally anybody would ask me what I wanted to do, and I would say just like, I just want to be happy, whatever I do.
That's so real.
At the end of the day, that's really, at least me. It's like I want to be joyful in whatever I do, whatever that is. I don't really care. But I was always very creative, and I was really good at math. So everybody would tell me, oh, architecture, you should do architecture.
Yeah.
It's, creative, numbers, measurements and whatnot. And I'm like, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
My dad actually started architecture. He never finished. I'm like, maybe that's the route that I should take. So I started doing architecture, and then I realized that they make you break the box, get out of the box, create something new, and then they put you back in the box and create more boxes. So I realized that it wasn't as creative as I would like to be in the world.
Right.
So I took a leap of faith, and I started and registered for BFA. So I started in studio art and got my BFA and done a lot of great things. I've gotten married.
Nice.
Now are in a residency program, doing murals, and excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So Claudette is my good friend, one of my newer friends, art friends, where we met through Sobra Collective, which is a great collection of pretty much exclusively Broward artists, I think. And we just link up and we support each other. We meet every month. We go to each other's shows. And I met Claudette during my first meeting. Well, I don't even think we spoke. I just saw you, and then you saw me, and then we just didn't say anything. We're like, oh, okay. And then we spoke the next meeting. But she and I hit it off really great, and we're actually both residents of the Bailey Contemporary Arts Program. Right now, we're co-residents. Because it's like I saw the list of people who made it to the final round to get interviewed, and I saw Claudette's name. I'm like, bro, if I don't get it, Lord, help Claudette get in. And we both made it, and it's just so amazing that we're, moving in this trajectory right now.
Funny enough, that Sobra meeting was also my first meeting.
That was also your first meeting? That's crazy.
Because that was the first meeting after the new registration process. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came in late because I had to come in from work. I was in my freaking uniform. I was feeling mad out of place, bro.
I mean that you just fit in because everybody's out of place.
Exactly. When everybody feels out of place, everybody's exactly where they need to be.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool show that they were displaying at the time. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you a bit about, your thoughts about the Bailey Contemporary Art Program so far. Like, how are you feeling getting moved in and everything?
It feels really nice. When I go into the studio, it feels super peaceful. I can stay there all day. I can lose track of time, which can be a little dangerous sometimes. But it's very peaceful. It's very resourceful. There's a lot of people always trying to help you out, showing opportunities that should apply for.
Yeah.
And just a great environment, being able to collaborate with a lot of different artists and different media, and like you sharing kind of the thorns and things that you're going through, and
right.
You're like, I need help with this and I don't know how to do this, and then there's other people around the table and around the residency that literally that's what they do.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's like please guide me, and they're more than happy and willing to. So it's a very much collaborative environment that we kind of support each other and rely on each other, and I think it's really nice.
It is. Honestly, I'm very blessed and honored to be part of this program. It's a program that is sponsored by the city of Pompano, and Pompano Beach is a very, very supportive city when it comes to the art, especially in Broward. You feel me? So, like the types of opportunities that they throw our way, the fact that we're getting consulting sessions,
Yep.
our own studio space, our own solo shows, and did you know that Laura is like the director of Florida Public Arts?
No.
Yeah, so
I know she's very involved in a lot of things, but yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so now you know. So our studio director is also like the director of Florida Public Arts. So it's like she's always finding opportunities for us to just lob our way. And it's just really awesome to be a part of. And also like our co-residents are just so cool. Like all of them have very interesting personalities. And I think we're meshing very well too.
Yeah.
Like anytime I come in and I see that like someone else is in the studio, I get excited. I'm like, thank God I'm not here alone. Like I could be here alone, but it's like, you know, it's nice to see y'all for real.
Yeah. That can be dangerous too for me sometimes because I like everybody so much that I'm like, I'm here to work, but I want to talk to you. But then I'm
Right.
like, oh, I need to go work on my stuff.
Right.
I need to prepare my show. What's going on?
Yeah, because like deadlines are always just kind of like looming. None of them are like on our neck,
No.
but they're close enough to be like, okay, I can't really waste time right now. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Everybody like also understands that well enough to where we don't like linger too much in conversation. But you know, we always have time to say what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always nice. Always nice.
it's always nice. So I wanted to talk a bit about your practice, and I feel like you would be better off explaining it than I would. And I also want to talk about like, well, that's a follow-up question, but like, what inspired you to go about it?
So currently, I've been working on a series of paintings that raise awareness about human trafficking. And so I've been doing this for a little bit now. And initially, it started because I've always been very passionate about helping, advocating, and kind of just finding ways to contribute to somebody. And I started in Broward College participating in this internship program that was very much into service. And they worked with a lot of nonprofit organizations and try to, you know, find ways to kind of plug in students in different areas in different ways to also serve the community.
Right.
And so they have this program that they partnered with a nonprofit that did that. And because college students are very much in that target,
Audience.
yes, when it comes to human trafficking, and they're very vulnerable. They're also in a very transitional period of their life. There's a lot of changes, and they can get easily, you know, confused, manipulated, and they brought in speakers to talk to the students and help them understand and hear firsthand from survivors.
Right.
And so that's really how it kind of impacted me personally and really set me in this path of like, I need to do something about this.
Right.
So this particular survivor, she shared her story and she said that she had been trafficked by her own family. And you would have never known because she would go to school, she would do all the normal things that anybody else would do. But after school, it looked very different.
Right.
And so I'm very close to my family, and I could never, it's very hard for me to understand because I've never been in a situation, thankfully, I've never been in a situation like that. And I really impacted me in the point that I wanted to make sure that doesn't happen to other people.
Right.
And especially the, you know, children around me, because a lot of times when we want to make a change and an impact in the world, we want to make it in such a big scale that we don't really see the people around us.
Right.
So I wanted to focus more on my close circle. And so I started depicting children that are dear to me. And I call the series Unfinished Stories to kind of resemble those stories of kids that are not able to finish them, that are out in the world and nobody knows what's happening to them.
Right.
Because the people that are supposed to look after them are not. So, and create a space of conversation my work, and also human trafficking is really not an easy or nice subject to talk about. So,
Not at all.
and it's very unfortunate because it just makes it harder for people to understand
Right,
what's
but
going
it's
on.
a conversation that needs to happen, though.
Exactly. So I try to make my work very kind of approachable, kind of more, I guess, like my personality in a way. And people would ask questions because the work is, vibrant, and, it's a child that it's doing childish things, like
Right.
childlike things. But then the titles are stolen innocence, modern day slavery.
Right.
And so people ask questions. It's like, why the title? Like, I'm not understanding. And so it creates an environment of conversation just because it's such a, contrast and juxtaposition of such a like beautiful thing, but it's really not. So that's kind of how it all started. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback, especially from survivors. So that kind of propelled me and fueled me to continue to do more of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on for the past couple of years.
That's really impactful, and I commend you for making work like that, especially since you haven't like gone through it yourself, but it's the empathy that you see that it can happen to literally anybody. Like, we have to talk about this. Like, it shouldn't have to personally affect me
Yep.
for me to care deeply about. So that's really great that you dedicated a span of your practice to that. I wanted to talk about the story you told me about this woman who was being trafficked, but like she would go to school like in the daytime, like nothing was up, and like when she got home it was a different story, and that kind of messes with my visual, like my mental picture of human trafficking. Like, how could somebody be like going about their lives casually but also being trafficked on the side?
It's like any kind of trauma when things are normalized and nobody tells you that it's wrong. It's like it's your life. If somebody question it, then you question it.
Right.
It's like that's how it's always been. Why would it be any different? I thought I was normal.
Right.
It's like when you grew up in a certain way, there's probably things, and not in the human trafficking aspect of things, but
Like in general.
culturally, there's things that until you encounter somebody else with a different culture, you're like, oh, you guys don't do this?
Right.
So it's more of like that psychological effect of human trafficking that a lot of people are not able to understand, that it's kind of in a way like brainwashing for you to believe something
Yeah.
that it's not okay.
Okay. Because
I
my
don't know if
mental
that-
picture of human trafficking is like someone being abducted from their home and their
Yeah.
family and being kind of forced into performing these types of deeds that they normally wouldn't do. But you're telling me that it's a lot broader than that.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not taken. The reality of it is, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, because
Right.
it does. But the reality is that most people that are trafficked, or it's actually by somebody they actually know. It can be a family member. It can be just like a boyfriend, a girlfriend. And that really just shook my world, though, like when I found that out, especially being a young woman, that I'm
Right.
like, this is crazy. It sickens me, and I'm just like, I need to do something about it. And at the end of the day, regardless of what you're doing in this world, I like to believe, and that's what I really want to do with my practice and just the way that I live my life, that every single person, I truly believe every single person has a gift, and we can make an impact in the world through it.
Right.
How? That's, up for you to kind of figure that out, like each individual. And so for the longest time, I had this gift of creating and being, an artist, and have these skills. And I never really saw the impact that I can make in the world. And once I started kind of tapping into that and taking it a little more seriously and
Yeah.
being intentional about it, I didn't know how such a, simple brushstroke can really make somebody cry.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep. Nah, you're good. But like I'm still stuck. Like So define trafficking for me, because it's like what you're telling me broadens what my definition of it. Yes, like the example I gave you, somebody getting abducted, and that not being the only type of trafficking. Me not knowing much about that, like, and a lot of the viewers possibly not knowing much about that. Like, what does it mean to be trafficked then?
Um, Honestly, I can't tell you like the exact definition to be completely
No, that's
honest
fine.
and transparent. Basically, is somebody forcing you to do something against your will, like taking that away,
Mm-hmm.
or that you know that it's like inherently wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not just sex trafficking, there's a lot of like labor trafficking,
Mm-hmm.
the organ what is it, harvesting.
Yeah,
That's
organ
another thing
harvesting.
that is very dark and another level of it.
Right.
And a lot of times everything's kind of like
Connected.
connected. It's a very dark world.
Wow.
The more that you dive into it and like
Mm-hmm.
doing, like I've watched a lot of interviews and different things, and I'm just like, wow, if you really go down the rabbit hole, it's very deep,
Mm-hmm.
it's very dark,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not one way that I can like fully define it because there's different,
For sure.
avenues.
For sure.
Um, it's just really dark, and I feel like I could shine a little light, at least in those areas. Um, I can tell you more about it and show you more the interviews that I've watched, but
Yeah.
the top of my head, that's the best way that I can describe it.
Yeah, for sure. And I see that it affects you deeply, and I'm glad that an artist that cares this much about it is making the work.
Thank you.
On the topic of your work and its correlation to the subject, because I've seen your paintings and they are very, I don't know, peaceful and vibrant. So it's like, how do you make this just? There's a word I'm trying to use. Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah, that one. Between these peaceful images of children and the darker context that you're trying to give awareness to.
Um, Again, each one of us, I believe, has a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told a lot that I kind of give that vibe of kind of like making things peppy and kind of like make things feel a little easier.
Right.
At least that's what my family tells me
Right. Yeah.
amongst like some of my friends. So I guess naturally that kind of translates into what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, goes back to the intentionality behind it, which is really important, especially with such a sensitive subject.
Right.
So in order for people to be willing to engage in conversation with, at the end of the day, that's really like the goal with this work.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make it approachable.
Right.
I need to people want to look at it and ask questions. And then in subtle ways, I introduce what it's really about.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to, artist statements, they're always there if people read them. There's a lot of times that they don't. They just see the
Right.
work and then that's that.
Yeah, like, ooh, pretty picture.
Exactly.
Right.
So most of the time what they really see is just like the title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the title? And so I make the title that darker underlying thing that people don't usually see, especially too when it comes to like human trafficking and just abuse, especially with children. That is just, again, I don't feel like I need to get burned in order to know it hurts.
Right.
So that's why I look for things that I feel, drawn towards and advocate for those that are not able to do it for themselves, because I'm able to.
Right.
So use what I do and the freedom that I do have to speak for those that don't.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, because, like, in the society that we live in, and me also being kind of part of the problem, like, sometimes things on the internet are just so harsh to look at. Like, like I feel like I can't do anything. So it's like, I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to be reminded of this bleak reality. But when you go about it this way and making it more approachable and personal to talk about, because it's like you're bringing, like, your reference images, I don't know if you told them this, but are based off of your own, like, young family members. You know what I mean? So it's like you're literally empathizing so hard that you're bringing your own family into this. And it's like, listen, like, it could be your own little
Yeah.
nephew, it could be your own son,
Yeah.
it could be your own, like, niece, goddaughter. And it's like, are you gonna care then? You know what I mean? Like, it, as you said, like, you don't have to get burned in order to know that it hurts. So it's like the fact that you're able to introduce the conversation in a digestible way. It's very, very commendable.
Thank you. Thank you. It's hard to do with such a sensitive subject. So at times it's like how much to say, how much not to say. It's really kind of the balance of it. And I do ask a lot of people sometimes when it comes to the way that I'm gonna approach things, or when I'm trying to create the work in like either a different medium, or because the way that I started wasn't actually with people. I started doing abstract sculpture.
Really?
Yeah. Funny enough, I'm bringing the sculpture to the studio so I can show it
Please
to
do.
you.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so I did a sculpture with rebar,
Okay.
rusty rebar. And, well, you can see it on my website, actually, because it's there and it describes the intentionality behind it. And basically, I did an abstract take on a shoe with rebar and zip ties.
Okay.
It's just your face. Sorry, your face is like, I'm trying to imagine what this thing looks like.
Yeah, but I'm also wondering, like, why? Like, what
Why?
was your intentionality?
So I tapped into the material itself. It's rusty rebar. It can easily do a lot of damage if you hurt yourself with it.
Yeah.
And the fact of a shoe, and I called it "Walk a Mile in My Shoes." So it's that of, it's not something that will be comfortable to walk in a rebar shoe.
Right.
There's, different angles that the rebar is coming out, and just that concept of like, try to walk a mile in that shoe.
Right.
That's exactly what a victim or like a survivor or somebody going through this journey in life feels like. It's not comfortable, it's not nice, it's not pretty, and you don't want to be in it.
Right.
So let's do something about it.
That's so real. So how would you suggest me and the viewers do
Yeah.
something about it?
Again, you can use your gifts, whatever that may look like. For me, it's art and, using my hands in my creative environment, and then sharing it and talking to people about it. There's a lot of great organizations, especially here in Florida Florida in general.
Right.
It's in the top 3 for human trafficking. That's another reason why I feel like it's very important to talk about it.
Wow.
All these big events, all these sporting events are very much of like a great moment for people to kind of like,
Swoop in,
yep,
abduct someone.
yep, and just like, oh, where is this person? I don't know.
Right.
Also, you'll get invited to an event, and it's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend, this and that, and it's like, oh, you're gonna do this with X, Y, and Z, and it's like, there nowadays with social media, it's relatively like that's the main way that a lot of people are doing this, which is very sad, and they get in your head. It's like they literally, it's a very psychological game that it's really gross and messed up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people, again, my gift is not solely to like talk about it fully. That's why I create work in a visual way and then have a conversation. But there's a lot of great organizations here in Miami-Dade and Broward that do a lot of great work. I've partnered with some of them to come into my shows and kind of see how they can contribute, whether it's financially, whether it's volunteering, whether it's with their gifts and sharing what they've learned.
Right.
I think those are great ways. There's a lot of different ways to get involved. You just need to ask the right person the right questions. If you want to do that, I do know people that if you want to talk to, that could be a good route for you to learn more about it.
Yeah.
And literally, you can do your own research too. The UN does research about it, not just here, but like, around the world. How there's like a whole movement and routes for these kinds of things. And
Wow.
yeah.
So, do you have any of the names of these organizations off the top of your head?
Yeah. Elite Foundation is one that I worked with in the past.
Elite or Ellie?
Elite.
Elite Foundation.
Yes. And the Mavuno Project is another one that I've worked with.
Can you spell that?
Mavuno, so Mavuno.
Okay.
Mavuno.
Mavuno.
Yeah, Mavuno Project. Chrissy House, it's another one that I've gone to a couple workshops and learned more about it. So the three that come to my head right away, but there's plenty more.
Right. So you say your gift is not talking about it, but painting about it. And you try not to say too much, but I think you should say more. You feel me? Because it's like you might be like the gateway for people to actually talk about this type of stuff and think about this type of stuff. So, as you say, your family says you are the best person to deliver some bad news. And I think the more that you're able to ease people in of the dark reality of what's going on, I think the better it is for the victims and your practice. That's my opinion.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. I feel like my sister tells me that too.
I mean, you got to give yourself some credit, fam. Like, you dedicated your whole practice to it, and you know about it a lot. You're very passionate about it, and I can see you visually getting upset, like talking about it, and like I know that it's uncomfortable, so you're like trying to like laugh, pivot out of it.
Yeah.
I know you don't think it's funny, but it's like
not.
it's not funny at all. But you're just trying to like shake yourself out
Cope
of that.
with it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? But like, sometimes things ain't pretty, bro. Sometimes things ain't cute, and we gotta sit here and be uncomfortable for a second.
Yes. I'm literally really hot right now because of it. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a good job, fam. When it comes to these organizations, like, what do they ask of us other than donations and education?
Actually, men can be a very good, because again, supply and demand,
Okay.
right? If you're demanding it, people are going to find a way to supply it. And when it comes to that, and I mean men in the sense of pornography, for example, there's people behind, and they say it's like, oh, they're doing this voluntarily. You don't know that. You really don't know that. And there's a lot of men that consume a lot of pornography. I'm not even sure if I'm like allowed to say these things, but
I mean, you're allowed to do it. It's fine.
And if you're gonna demand and search for these things and seek these things out, people are gonna find a way, whether it's willing or not, to supply it.
Right.
So I think that's a way that, especially men, when it comes to this kind of impact, are a key. I wouldn't like to say like partner, but a key factor.
Yeah.
Because if you're seeking it, somebody's gonna find a way to supply it.
Yeah, they're the target audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I be talking about like the negative effects of pornography on the male mind, and I be thinking about it on an internal sense, but I never thought about it on the external sense.
It's not good in neither side.
It's terrible internally and
Yeah.
externally. All right, I'm about to get a little vulnerable. So one night I was on one of them .coms, right? We're gonna refer to it as that. And like this one video had like a disclaimer. It's like, oh, warning, this video is like a product of trafficking and a whole bunch of negative stuff. I'm like, bro, you're gonna put this blatant warning like in the beginning of this video, and like the thing is like these things are usually cut out because like a lot of these websites are like reposting a video rather than being the actual makers of the video. So it makes me think like, okay, if this one producer got like sued and has to put this in front of this video, like how many more producers of this type of content are also contributing to the problem, you know? And as you're saying, like men being the target audience, and like it's not like we're part of the problem because we're also suffering. Like we didn't like anybody who's addicted to that type of content didn't choose to be. Like they're kind of like coerced. And
I mean, to me, everything is a choice.
I mean,
So you're saying
yeah,
you're enabling people.
I'm not, bro, but here's the thing, like it becomes an addiction, and it's something
Yeah,
that we're introduced to at a very young age. Like
that I agree.
most young men who are introduced to that type of content are children, like
Yep.
literally like 12. Okay, so it's like their brains can't even register what they're looking at. All they know, it makes them feel some type of way, and everyone around them is acting like it's normal.
Because
And
things are normalized.
yeah, and that's the problem. So it's like I don't really blame these young men for being put down this rabbit
No.
hole, because it's like even now, like these certain content creators are kind of like targeting these young kids. And it's like when you sign up for social media,
Yep.
like you have to submit how old you are, and yeah, you can obviously lie, but it's like
Yep.
still like this type of stuff is being put on their algorithm and like sexualizing their minds at a very young age. So it takes older people like us
Yep.
to have that conversation, be like, hey yo, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be like 13 like ready to like go home and bust one. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it really affects on like how you view the opposite gender as a whole too, and intimacy as a whole. And specifically for men, it can make us not view women as whole people, but as sexual objects, which is exactly the problem that you're referring to right now.
Yep. And what I mean by a choice, I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about grown adults that make decisions that know better, and I like to believe they should do better,
Right.
and they choose not to. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Obviously, kids, if you don't know better, you won't be able to do better.
Right.
And so, again, as adults, we're here to guide them in the right path. And it starts within. It starts with you.
Right. And this is not to excuse their actions at all. Let me preface
All right.
what I'm saying.
No, I didn't get that.
No, for sure. It's about what I'm about to say. So I taught a lesson at church the other day that was about like the power of a thought. And every single thought is a seed that can plant roots in your subconscious and blossom above ground into who you are and how you interact with the world. And these sick men were all children at one point. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, like it is a choice and it's absolutely reprehensible. But we gotta do what we can to like uproot those thoughts like now, because it's like once it starts to take root in the subconscious, even if they know it's kind of wrong, like
Yeah.
their default is to be this sick, horny individual. And it's like you don't start off as a sick, horny individual, even if you're like introduced to it as an adult. Like it's like gradual.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
Self-control.
self-control, but self-control is, again, I'm not defending the action.
Yeah.
But once something has been so normalized in your psyche and your subconscious, it's a lot harder to be like, okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. There's addictions of all sorts, and it doesn't make it easier, whichever it is.
No, not at all.
Detox, again,
Yeah.
shows in different people in different ways. So, I agree.
Right. So it's like if you found out like one of your nephews was into that type of content, because the thing is like us as young adults and older adults, we don't really know how to like go about that type of
Address it?
conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How'd you do it?
Well, I'm not a therapist by any means, but maybe seek one. They good intimidators. I don't know. Start with a conversation, asking questions, helping them think it through.
Yeah.
That would be my best advice. It's okay to have uncomfortable conversations as long
Right.
as you're keeping it civil and like you're here to have a conversation and come to a conclusion of whatever even if it's agreed to disagree
Yeah.
or it's like okay I see your point, maybe I need to do something different. So again, conversations, asking questions, coming from a place that you want people to understand and be better and be educated and make educated decisions,
Yeah.
not just because it's something that was taught to me and that's the way the world works and that's how it's always been, so that's how it needs to continue to be.
Right.
So it's just having those little conversations. And funny enough, something that came to my mind too is with one of a therapist friend that I have, when she was going into psychology and through school, she just said to herself or to one of her mentors or professors, I don't remember exactly. She said that I could treat anybody, but I would never treat a pedophile. Something that she's like, I don't think I can do that. I wouldn't be able to empathize. And then the professor asked her, it's like, okay, what if this pedophile was a client that you had that had been molested when he was younger and then he grew up and then became a pedophile, which is
Right.
a lot of the case what happens. It's like, well, now you're putting in a different perspective because, again, it started at a young age, something that he did not intentionally, was rooted into him
Right.
and it grew and then bear fruit, not so good fruit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I was still, yeah, you have a good point. It's about also humanizing people despite of the bad things and evil things that they may be capable of
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
If they find that those things are wrong or things that they want to change, because people can't do better if they don't know better.
Right.
So until you're able to teach them and have that compassion and empathy to have that conversation, and it's like, I'm not here to attack you. I don't agree with the way you're living your life, and I'm here just to share with you that there is a better way,
Right.
and that from there, then you do have a choice
Yeah.
because you have options.
Right. And if we are speaking to somebody who is doing terrible things, it's not really our job to change them, but it is our job to plant a seed within them, and the fact that like that therapist analogy, like at least this individual is going to a therapist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's big. And it's like it's hard to not immediately distance yourself once someone's problematic nature gets revealed to you. But by completely distancing yourself, you're kind of doing them and the world a big disservice because it's like they need to hear, like, yo, you can't be doing this, fam. You can't be doing this. And that's easier said than done, of course, but
Yep.
everybody's a human, even the not so great humans.
Yes.
And the Bible says everyone is deserving of empathy, and it's hard to empathize with
Have
certain people.
compassion.
But it's like the idea that anybody can change, and it's like the people that were so deeply rooted in evil could be like the greatest advocates for good, like if they see the light, you know what I mean? Because like they've been there, and they could be able to reach people who are dealing with that same type of evil and turn them around. But you're right. Like it really just does start with a conversation.
It's like level playing field. I'm not here because I'm better than you. I'm here because I think there's a better way to go about it.
Right. That's crazy. I wanted to bring a situation up. Like I wanted to get your personal answer on this, but say you're just cooling, you at your like sister or brother's house and you find out your nephew is consuming explicit content at a very young age. Like how would you address and respond to that type of situation?
Could you give me some context? Like how old?
Let's say he's like 12, 13.
Probably I would talk to his parents first and see about it. Again, it also depends on the relationship that you have with that child.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable or confident enough, or maybe also with the relationship that you have with his parents, either talk to his parents first or and then address it, or if you see it like right there in the moment and you're like right next to him and it's like, oh, like what are you doing, or
Right.
just try to ask questions, put the level playing field that it's like, again, I'm not here to summon you and like kind of like point fingers. And
Right.
a lot of times I think with conversations like that, it's good when you either put yourself in their shoes or you share a vulnerable aspect of yourself, and it's like, I'm flawed too.
Right.
And that also creates a play like level field. It's like, okay, you're sharing with me, I might feel more comfortable sharing with you.
Right.
So kind of creating a safe space and environment for people to feel comfortable to share, I think that's very important. I think verbalizing and sharing specifically your intention with the conversation is also very important, because with communication also timing, it's very important, whether it's the time of the day of the week, wherever they're at that specific point in time. Some things that you should take into consideration before trying to approach the conversation. Sometimes, it just happens the perfect moment, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this is the perfect time to talk about this. So those are different things that I would say. It's like, I'm here just to share with you that I've been, and even without you knowing, just like planting seeds.
Right.
It's like, when I was your age, I used to do X, Y, and Z, and I realized that that didn't lead me anywhere. And thankfully, I found this, and it was able to help me. Like, find a way to also either replace the behavior or kind of some type of solution.
Right.
Because a lot of times people want to do better, but they don't know how.
Right.
So if you give them tools to be able to do better, I believe they will be a little more capable of doing so. Instead of you just like, oh, you shouldn't do this, then what should I do?
Exactly.
Like, okay, you're just telling me the problem, give me a solution,
Right. Yeah.
So I would say kind of going about that, again, clarifying your intention, if you're going to go direct to kind of address it, or just be like kind of quote unquote vague of planting seeds.
Yeah.
It depends on, again, the approach, the relationship. But that's two different ways that I would do it.
That's real.
I don't know if that was helpful.
No, that's good. That's
I
good.
hope
That's good. Yeah, for sure. And on the topic of human trafficking, how do you recommend that people defend themselves from it better? Like on an individual level, like say you're going out with your people, or you're about to meet somebody somewhere, or you're like navigating social media. Like, what are some red flags to look out for?
That's a good question.
Take your time.
Yeah. Just give me a thing. One of the first things that I would say is like, go with your gut. There's a lot of times that, you feel something inside of you telling you that you shouldn't be doing this, or, oh, something's gonna happen, or, oh, I should walk away, or for whatever reason, I would say trust your instinct and trust, your gut. That would be one way. As a young woman, that's something that I would say, because there's times that you feel it, that you're like, this is a little sketchy, or
Right.
I don't know if I should go to this place.
Right.
I don't know if I should meet this person. So that's something that I would say. I've watched so many different shows and different things that I'm just like, I don't know. Again, get educated. if you know better, you can do better. So just absorb from some of these organizations. They do a lot of like a very much educational component to it.
Right.
They also teach you about like the different red flags, meeting people online that you don't know, catfishing again with other things and whatnot. That's just annoying and gross. But just to me, education is just such a big component to everything in life. It's like, and so unfortunate that a lot of people don't have, that. If they're watching this, trust your gut. Go out and find out more information about these different organizations that I just mentioned. I mean, if you're watching this, you have access to the internet, and pretty much everybody does. So
Right.
I would say literally Google it. There's a lot of information out there that can help you. And be willing and able to have a conversation and disagree with people.
Right.
Because sometimes they can share something that you were not aware of before. Yeah, that would be what I would advise them.
That's real. I want to just make sure to at least give them some information. So I am about to like Google real quick, like how to defend yourself from human trafficking. Is there a better way I can word that question?
Human trafficking prevention?
Yeah. Sentence already halfway typed out. Okay. All right. So adjust privacy settings, keeping your accounts private and disabling location settings.
Yeah, that's true.
That's real because I remember
That
when
is real.
like Instagram randomly dropped like, "Oh, share your location through Instagram." Why?
I don't know. Also, like posting where you are all the time. No.
At least do it like after you leave.
Yes.
Like you shouldn't be live posting because like stalking is so real.
Yeah.
Being cautious with messages.
Wait,
like
what?
being cautious with messages. I have a retainer in, so if I have a lisp today, guys, like please bear with me. Like like getting a DM from like a stranger or like a suspicious like direct DM.
That's what I mean with like trust your gut. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And yeah, like as we just went over, avoid oversharing.
Yeah.
Like also like where you're going to school at, like the neighborhood you're living in, like your routine where you be at, like on a like weekly basis. Say you go this spot every Tuesday. We don't gotta know that, fam. Because somebody nefarious might be looking for that type of information. And being suspicious of good to be true offers, right? They have some stuff on in-person safety. Protect your documents. Never give your ID or personal documents to someone you fully trust. Well, you don't fully trust. That's kind of common sense. Trust your instinct.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy work.
That's what I'm telling you, the psychological aspect of things. If people put you in a position that you're like afraid and you're like, oh, give me your ID right now, you're not going to think twice if you're scared. You're like, okay, yeah, here.
Right. There's a really good one here, like vetting job offers and watching out for unusual job interviews.
Yeah. A lot of like promoters and things like that. I will watch out for that. Again, for the sporting events, when it comes to like brand ambassador things and whatnot.
Right.
It's like, oh, we're going to pay all expenses and we're going to take you on this trip and all this stuff. Sounds great. Sounds awesome. But question it.
Absolutely.
Vet it.
100%.
Look into it. Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. And if it sounds too good to be true, it most likely is.
It freaking is. And two more things we're going to go about real quick. A safety plan, making sure that you're communicating with your friends, sharing.
Maybe practice jujitsu too.
Oh, yeah, self-defense training, absolutely. My girlfriend has a taser and some pepper spray.
Yeah.
For, close
Pepper
range
spray.
and long
Pepper
range
spray.
type of situations.
Pepper
I
spray can
tested
go a
out her
long way.
pepper spray one time outside. A very small drip of it flew back into my eye. It is no joke. If you're a woman, get you some pepper spray, fam. And just to close things out, well, also share your location with your trusted friends. Your trusted friends. You feel me? Someone should know where you at, like in case something happens, you go dark. But also, the National Human Trafficking Hotline is 1-888-373-7888 or text Be Free, which is 233733. Dang, I think this is the most important conversation I've had on this show.
I'm glad I'm here.
Heck yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for sharing. And this has been Art Therapy with Jed-Lee and Claudette Sernius. Listen, if you like me or her, want to talk to us more, come see us at Bailey Contemporary Arts. Every first Friday, there's an Untapped event where we will be there in our studio. Wait, we just told them where we're going to be at a specific time. But it's a very public space, and we will have pepper spray and tasers, so don't like try nothing crazy. But if you are a normal person, you want to pull up every first Friday at Bailey Contemporary Arts in Pompano. It's a real good time. There's mad food trucks. It's a really good vibe, and
Live music.
A
lot of great vendors.
And food.
Yes.
Get you a bite, dog. But yeah, we just happy to be here. We make art to serve the people. It's so much bigger than us always. And if you are an aspiring creative, go do the thing. It's mainly about giving yourself permission than it is about any type of talent. Like, I'm not going to write what I do off of talent. I was persistent. I kept trying. And I believed in myself. Even when I didn't really believe in myself, I pretended that I did. So, fam, pick up that pencil, pick up that paintbrush, and stay healthy, dog. Drink water.
Water is good for you.
For sure. Do you have anything you want to tell the good people before we go?
Me?
You.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for continuing the conversation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And do something great in this world. You're alive in this world. You're here for a reason. Do it on purpose.
You do it on purpose, fam. Okay, thank you to dear Eleanor. Thank you, Miami Community Radio. Thank you, Philip.
Yes.
Shout out, Philip, y'all. And we're going to catch you in the next 2 weeks. Love you. We have the greatest relationship, me and you, viewer, and I'm so happy you keep coming back. I love parasocial relationships like this. Let's become more social. You feel me? Love yourself. Drink water. Jesus loves you. Text your mom. Call your mom. You feel me? She probably worried about you if you don't live with her. Even if you do live with her, hit her up. It's all love out here.